Hello dear friends of Munich. It's now 25 years that we are here at the Chateau, and going through the Chateau you see that certain places become a little bit old, a little bit used. There are some canapés, some chairs, some places where you really feel the 7,500 students that have gone through the Chateau in the last 25 years. So we were thinking about renovating, changing certain furniture, certain spaces, and it is thanks to your help that we will be able to do that. And I hope that also this time you will support our project. And to just show you what we intend to do, let's go through the Chateau and see the nice places that we want to renovate a little bit. So a very nice place that our students have discovered the last 2 years is our beautiful terrace. It has never been really used for the students in the past, but we tried it out during the COVID period and our students just loved the place. So the idea would be also to have the furniture here so that students can have their lunches here as soon as the weather is nice. Very often it's maybe a little bit sunny, it's not really warm, but the students are outside immediately. And I think this place deserves a little bit of refreshment, and therefore we would like to buy some new furniture here to establish the students. And also look at our very nice green zone. We have a few hammocks, but 3 hammocks for 115 students, it's not really a lot. So we would also like to add a few more activity devices for our students so that they can better use this beautiful place. Environment is very important at Munich, and for many years we have been thinking about a project to have a uniform system of trashing. And I think we have now the idea in mind. We clearly know what we do, and we will work with 3 different baskets, let's say, to separate plastic, trash and paper. But you can do it nicely and have it in a uniformed way all over the Chateau. So we just show you how it looks like now, but we want to have this nicer with also more explanation for the students so that everybody knows what to do, where to put the things. It's a project that goes all over the Chateau. Yeah, our cave is already an old lady, but I think we can give it a little bit of use. So first of all, also in general, there is this signage issue. So we also would like to put nice signs everywhere to identify the different places and show where the students should go. And then looking here at our cave, there are old furniture, old tables. It's not always very comfortable, and I think with a little bit of effort, contacting a designer, we could do very nice things with cushions and certain little things that would certainly help to refresh this whole area a little bit. We have a nice TV set, but the sofas are pretty old. They are very old chairs. Not always very comfortable, and thinking that we have more and more students, I think it's time to just have a look at all these. Also possibly extend the space by simply putting more comfortable one-person chairs rather than big canapés. Using the space better, like for example, very old-fashioned is the locker system. Okay, for many of you it's probably a little bit heartbreaking because these lockers still were at the Monterey Avenue, but they are old now and I think students don't need them. We observed the last 2 semesters where they were completely not used. Personally, something that students love, so also buying a little bit more stuff than this, especially for the winter semester, will be helpful. We also have only one body foot, the famous Fußball, but I think getting maybe a bianing here, maybe a second baby foot would also be very nice and helpful. And we talked to a provider, a possible provider, who said, oh, it's not difficult, it's relatively easy to get a second-hand BIA for not too much money and still in very good shape. So it's definitely an idea to follow. And then again, speaking about the lockers, they basically take up an entire room here, and we really don't need that space. So this little area here could be a little cozy corner for students to rest, to be a little bit isolated, a little bit hidden, let's say, for a rest. So this is really a place that we could also use better than just having these lockers that we don't need. On the longer run, we are also following the idea to get rid of our washers, but that's probably not in the next couple of years, because for the moment there is no 100% good solution in Differdange for the washer system, but we are trying and exploring certain passes to also get rid of this, because it's not an ideal solution. It has never been, and hopefully on the longer run we will also be able to use this room for other purposes. And what do you think about these beautiful chairs? They were the hit with our students this past semester. They really love it. Joseph and I discovered them in Oxford when we had our visit there, and we said this is what we need for our students. And so it was not easy to find a provider who was able to bring them to Luxembourg, but here they are in Maisy-Dumont, and we would like to also buy more of these chairs for two other rooms that we have upstairs, the Karl der Kühne and the Maisy-Dumont room, because also there are these old chairs that are not really suitable for laptops and backpacks today, whereas these chairs are simply perfect for the students. They simply love it. It's a little bit funny when you go to a classroom like this, you always have the impression that it is in complete disorder, but in fact that's the purpose, because they roll through the room and so students, they can gather wherever they need if they have to talk about a project, and it's just wonderful to have them. So that's definitely an important project that we would want to do as fast as possible. Yeah, so here is one of the rooms that we would like to renovate, and you see these old chairs, they are really very light. Not the very nicest place for somebody who has a little bit more size than a tiny little student, and to put my laptop here, it's not very easy. So that's definitely something that we would like to change. But in all these projects, you know, speaking to a provider, there are different approaches possible. Of course, there are certain aspects where we simply would like to change something. But sometimes, like here, you would say, well, even if we buy new chairs, look at the carpet, look at the walls, look at why do we have two boards here. So sometimes it's also necessary to go a little step further and say, okay, we need to make a bigger renovation. Or you can say, no, we want our students to be in a Rolls Royce. We have a beautiful chateau and we really want these rooms to look beautiful. And depending on the efforts that we can make on this scholarship, it depends what we can do in these different rooms. I think there are elementary things that are necessary, so we would need the chairs in here, but it would be great to also renovate the carpet here, to have a better way to roll these chairs on possibly a different type of floor. But it would probably also be good to take off this board in the back and put it next to the smart board and then repaint the walls, because else it will be not very nice. So it all depends on what will be available, that we can or cannot do certain things. So it all depends on you. Yeah, we now enter what you used to call in the early 2000s the library. Well, you see, the library has gone. We will show you the library a little bit later, but this is now the so-called student mezzanine. So it's a place for the students to hang out. It's not necessarily a quiet room, but students can sit here, they can work here, they can gather here. So it is also the possibility to have an extra classroom if needed. Like, for example, we have an architecture studio here in fall. But in general, we would like here to also move and remove certain of these old canapes, which really start to be old. Also, these tables are not the most comfortable. And we have seen a wonderful project at the University of Luxembourg's library, where you have little individual cases where students can also work with their laptop, phone without being disturbed. And to be honest, we don't need desktops anymore, because most of the students today have their own laptop, can loan a laptop here at MUDEC. So the idea is also to get rid of this whole board and replace this whole area maybe by one desktop place and one laptop place, but knowing that all the students bring their own, they are not really needed anymore. So it is also a question of how to design these things. And my idea of the 3 steps, of the 3 levels is also valid here, because again, you can simply replace these canapes, but you can also do a nice thing. Another issue that we have with this area is that because it's below or above the Grand Hall, the sonority is not the nicest. So as soon as you talk here, you hear everything down there, and down there you hear everything up here. So it is also a question, for example, to find a way to have less sound in this area, and possibly also to improve the lighting for the students. Chateau. So this is now more the quiet place. It's the new library also. It's the faculty lounge. It's the conference room. And that's an effort that we have done on our own with relatively small little means, but we are very proud of it. We think it has really been well integrated in the Chateau. And all our books are here in the corridor, in this long corridor that we really never could use properly. But I think here with this and with very little efforts, we really could do a nice job. We have some new canapes, not completely new, but the nicest that we found in the Chateau and that we were given. A cozy place where a lot of students just sit to read, to quietly work, and we think with 2 or 3 more things we could complete this area. There are maybe 1 more couch, a few little desks where they can put their stuff. So with really very, very small efforts, we could really finish this area. We just reused our shelves, and we only bought a few new ones to complete what we need. That's the tour. That's what we need. I thank you in advance for all your efforts, and I thank you for your constant support to MUDEC. We are very proud to have a wonderful group of alumni, a wonderful group of friends of MUDEC that support us, that help us to keep our students happy. Thank you very much.